Molly, who's actually been managing the whole Instagram page for us, which we're really excited to have her participating with us in this way. And one of the things that's most interesting about this is that here I'm in New York City and Molly is actually out in Missouri. So Molly, how did you ever find out about SwimStrong?
Well, when I was looking for an organization to help and to volunteer with, I couldn't really find any organizations close to home, so I just decided to do a quick Google search. And when I did that, obviously SwimStrong came up, and then I sent you an email, and then here we are.
Yes, here we are. And so what would you say was kind of the compelling piece of our work that really attracted you to us and wanted you to, prompted you to do that reach out?
Yeah. Well, since I'm a lifeguard, I obviously I know firsthand how important water safety is. And when I found SwimStrong's website and Instagram and Facebook page, I noticed that you guys were really passionate about what you do, and I noticed that you were really making an impact in your community. So that just made me um, feel like if I was to help out, that the things I would be doing would be beneficial to everyone the organization helps.
Oh, that's great. Well, we really appreciate it. And I think Coach Ryan Mullen has actually joined us too. I'm just going to say a little wave out to Coach Ryan. And Coach Ryan and I go back a long, long way. And that's all I'm going to say about it, Coach. Okay, so we're going to just stop that conversation right here for the moment. So back to Molly for a moment. Molly, you, since you've been managing the page, I think have really also been able to increase our viewers. Is that true?
Yeah, and I think the main reason for that is because before I started managing the account, you guys weren't really utilizing this many of the story features on Instagram, and the Instagram account wasn't on a business profile; it was just on a personal profile. So by switching the account to a business profile, and by uh, increasingly using the stories on Instagram, I feel like um, we're able to reach a different audience. Because, for example, if you were to post something to Instagram on your regular feed, you may not be able to see that post if you didn't go on Instagram for maybe a day. But if you were to look at a story just at the top of your Instagram feed, they're super convenient, super easy to use, and they're a great way to do reminders and all those kinds of things that people are really interested in.
Oh, that's great, Molly. Thank you so much for that help. And do you have the numbers? Do you know what we're up to now?
I believe we're at 530 followers now.
Wow.
Is that right?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks. And that's all thanks to you. So you rock, girl. We appreciate that. And I see my friend Yanis has joined us as well. And Yanis is actually in Greece. So besos to Yanis. Hope he's doing well over in Greece, and wish we could be a little bit closer. It's been a long time since we have seen each other in person. So thank you for joining, Yanni. And so going back to Molly for a moment, since you have been on this project with us, are there any things that you've learned yourself personally?
I feel like the main thing that I've learned is really just the amount of work that goes into because you do so much work for this organization, obviously. And I feel like before I didn't really realize how much dedication, time and passion really goes into um, managing and just creating an organization like this. And honestly, I'm very impressed with the amount of work and how amazingly everyone handles it, and how much you guys are able to accomplish.
Well, we are a team, thank you. And you are an important member of that team. And without the team, the work doesn't get done. Before the pandemic, we actually achieved two major milestones for us. We taught more than 10,000 students how to swim, and we gave over $1 million worth of free swimming lessons and programs to families that needed that help here in New York City. So we are basically a volunteer organization just like others like yourself, putting their shoulder to the wheel to get all of these things done. And we have between 35 and 70 volunteers helping at any given time, doing different things. When we were not in the middle of the pandemic, many of those would be in the water, helping us teach swimming or coaching swimming. And you yourself are actually a competitive swimmer, right?
Mm-hmm.
On a swim
Yeah.
team. Yeah. So, I'd like you to share a little bit about your work now on your swim team, because you've just recently gotten back into the water. And Molly had also shared with us, when everybody was out of the water, some good dry land stretches and exercises that we could all do to keep ourselves supple and ready for that big day when we could get back in the pool. So share, if you would, Molly.
Well, I've been back at practice for, I would say, about 7 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, like, getting back into shape is really tough. But I actually had my first meet since before all this happened, since February, yesterday. And it went really well. And obviously, we're all social distance and wearing masks and everything when we weren't swimming. But it really just helped us see, how much we're growing since we've gotten back in the water. And obviously, like, I'm very happy to be back in the water, just because obviously it's a really big part of my life, and not having that for like 3 months was kind of tough. But I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad for the dry land because I learned a lot.
Cool. And so in your meet, did you happen to swim your event, your typical event, or did you do a different event?
I did different events than I usually swim. I swam the 2 IM, 100 back, and 50 free, and I'm usually a 100, 200 freestyler.
Oh, good.
So it was also fun to do different events that I wouldn't normally do. So it was a good time.
Absolutely. And did you deliver some best times?
Yeah, I won a best time in my 100 back, so that was really exciting. Especially because I haven't swam like consistently, obviously, since before everything happened. So I was very happy with that.
Excellent. Well, keep up that good work, and I'm sure you'll be delivering
You.
more personal best times as these meets continue. Anything you want to ask of me while we're having this live dialogue? She did text me a question that she wanted to ask, and I'll read it to you. And it was really about, since we unfortunately have not been in the water, what have we been doing given the pandemic? And I will tell you that we all missed not being in the water terribly, but in some way, this was an opportunity for us to think about our training broadly. And for the last maybe 2 years, we've actually been doing dry land training around water safety. What does that mean? It means that we're not in the pool teaching swimming lessons. We're actually out of the pool, and we're teaching more about the nature and the dangers of different types of water that we meet, from inside our own homes to every place else out of doors. Why? Because we realize that, sadly, more people will never learn how to swim than actually will learn how to swim. And we want everybody, swimmers or non-swimmers, to be safe in and around the water. So if you understand the nature and the danger of different types of water, you can make the decisions that will keep yourself safe around the water. And so we actually have started to transcribe a PowerPoint presentation that I delivered in schools over the last 2 years into online products. And I'm so excited to tell you that we may have, well, we'll definitely have 4 products, maybe even 5 out of that one PowerPoint. And so what this is going to allow us to do is to truly amplify the educational side of our programming, and we will reach many, many more people than certainly if it were just up to me going to schools and delivering the program in person. So I'm just so excited about that. You can go to our website, which is swimstrongfoundation.org, in our blog, and see the preview of Know Before You Go, a conversation about water safety, which encompasses myself and 5 of my former students who are now in college. They're lifeguards, they're instructors, and they actually lead us through the presentation. I drop in and ask some questions and maybe elucidate certain points or provide a personal story of my own in sharing that. And it can be used right now for summer programming. Religious institutions can use it, businesses, really any groups that want to get together and learn these life-saving information and education about the danger and the nature of water. So that's what we're up to. We will have a video that will be available for sale for families for their personal libraries. That will be ready in about 2 weeks. And then in September, we'll actually have curriculum ready for schools. So we initiated a bill to mandate the training of water safety in New York State. And that is in the Senate and Assembly Education Committees. Hopefully it will come up for a vote in the fall. But we definitely understand that water safety has to be as innate to us or instinctive to us as we understand when we get in our car, the first thing we do is buckle up. So that's the purpose of the educational materials that will roll out. We'll pilot that in the fall, five or six schools, and be ready to launch the full programming in January of next year. And it has wings. I've actually taught it in Bosnia, Kenya, and Rwanda, and people responded with enthusiasm there. So we know that it is applicable really all over the world. And you may know that drowning is an issue that's an epidemic, a silent epidemic on a global basis. So that's what we're up to. And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. And I'm sorry that we lost Molly. But I think on that note, I will leave all of you and wish you the best of a good weekend. Make sure that you stay healthy and safe and get through this pandemic in the best way possible. So thanks again for your interest, and we wish you well at Swim Strong. Take care.